Warm welcome to everyone joining in today for Public Bank's second PB Scam Rangers webinar series on scam awareness. This is an initiative by the bank to keep our customers and the general public updated on the scam tactics and know how to take preventive measures from being victims of scams, as scams has disrupted many people's lives and sadly resulting in financial losses. Very good afternoon to everyone. My name is Roland and I will be the presenter for today's webinar topic on loan scam. This session will be approximately 30 minutes long and will be recorded. So we will share the presentation at our bank's official YouTube page after the session. Now, my presentation today will cover the following contents. I'll be sharing some news, reported cases, and the statistics on loan scams. We will also talk about the warning signs or red flags and how to avoid being a victim of loan scam. We will also highlight to you the bank's enhanced security features, and lastly, what to do if you have fallen victim to the scam. So let's look at our first item on this afternoon. Let's look at some case study on loan scam. Now, the first case here, this victim wanted a loan and therefore did a search on Google and contacted a so-called loan agent via WhatsApp. Now, what happened was that he was asked to make a payment of a total of 14,500 ringgit for various fees, including stamp duty, insurance, as well as processing charges. So after receiving the funds, the fraudster deposited a fake check into the victim's account. The victim actually saw that the loan amount appeared in his account, but it was under the floating balance. So making this scam seem legitimate as far as the victim is concerned. The scammer demanded additional payments basically to expedite the loan process, and the victim only realized that it was a loan scam when he tried to borrow money to make the final payment and was warned by a friend. So if you look at this first case, the key takeaway for this first case was there was an initial payment for a series of fees, and there was a fake check deposited into the victim's account, making it look like this loan is a legitimate loan. And the victim even went as far as to borrow money to make the payment in order to get a loan. So this is what we see on this first case study. So let's look at the second case. In this second case, this entrepreneur lost a savings of about 7,200 ringgit. Instead, he wanted a 20,000 loan, but fell victim to this loan scam. Now, normally we will see in the next few cases that the scammers will always contact the victims via social media, in this case WhatsApp. So, but for this case number 2, this fraudster actually posed as bank officers and fabricated documents from Bank Negara and even the Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri. Similarly to case number 1, the victim was instructed to make some initial payments, apparently for things like credit scoring checks, advance loans installment, and this amounted to about 7,000 over ringgit. So the victim only realized that he had been scammed after he contacted the bank for confirmation, and this so-called fraudster was non-existent. Now, in case number 3, okay, we also see that the scammers asking for initial payment for various types of fees. So from these 3 cases, the victims are actually willing to pay some upfront fees. But the question we would like to ask everyone is that, why would the victim want to pay such a big sum of money for a loan? So most likely the victim here needs the money urgently and out of desperation. So this makes the psychological behavior of the victim to be easily convinced and cheated by the scammers. So for this case number 3, an unemployed man actually loses almost 50 over 1,000 to an online scam, in this case in JB. Now, case number 4, similarly to the previous 3 cases, one key point that I hope you all would be able to see is that the learning point here is this loan scam, they post advertisements on social media, and they will always promise these few things: easy process, immediate approval, and these are all similar modus operandi that you will see exist in a loan scam. In this case, this victim was a beautician. She wants to start her own business, but apparently, instead of having her own business, new business, she lost 150 over 1,000 of her savings. So this is really sad, and scammers, they do not care about how much you want or what you want to do. Okay, so looking at this case also, like I said, the victim was promised an easy process, immediate approval, of course, on the condition that she made several advance payments. Okay, now case number 5 is a little bit different from the previous cases that I mentioned. This case shows that there are various tactics that the scammer will use to trap the victim in this loan scam. So in this case number 5, the married couple in this case gave their personal and business information to the scammers. So as the couple felt that the processing fee, the charges are too high, so they decided not to proceed. But what the scammers did was that the scammer transferred about 1,200 ringgit to the victim's account. Now, the couple tried to return the money but was met with resistance from the scammer. And the scammer claimed that the money cannot be refunded due to some system issue. The scammers even demanded a 10,000 ringgit repayment, claiming that the couple had mistakenly transferred the money into another account. So this scammers tactic, if they can't get you to continue with their loan, they will create fear by giving you or transferring money into the account. And in this case, causing the victim to be continuously be scammed in this particular loan scam. Of course, in this case, the victim immediately filed a police report for their safety. Now, we are only sharing here 5 case studies, but there are more cases actually. Every day, if you were to read the newspaper, or if you do a search in the Google, over Google, you will see that every other day, different types of scams is happening throughout. Now, what is a loan scam? Okay, a loan scam here, we would like to define it as a fraudulent scheme in which a scammer deceives others by promising loans under false pretenses. Okay, and normally this loan is actually non-existent at all. So they're trying to cheat from you the money on the pretext of basically giving you a loan, and the scammers are actually what you call it, manipulating your sense of urgency because you want money. So they are making this process looks very seamless, easy for you, and therefore, in this case, very easily being manipulated by these scammers into this loan scam. Okay. Now, they will pretend to be a genuine lender, offering you low interest loans and allowing blacklisted individuals to apply. Now, let's look at some statistic on this loan scam, which has been steadily increasing with the number of reported cases last year. So from last year, quarter 1, you see a total of 81 cases, which doubles up towards the end of the year to about 170 over cases. What about in 2025 this year? So far, more than about 500 loan scams has been reported, and 80% of these loan scams, reported loan scams, involve huge financial losses. And interesting statistic that we found out is that the number of reported scams are actually likely to increase during the end of the year. Of course, therefore comes a question: why end of the year? Why is it that the scams are likely to increase? Just like investment scam that we also have previously discussed, that towards the end of the year there are sudden increase in these reported cases. Now, kind of year end, it presents people with a kind of like an extra motivation. They want to start anew, or they plan for a renovation. Next year will be a good year, or they want to start a new business, or maybe make new purchases. Some individuals, perhaps at the year end, they might see some, well, financial pressure. Maybe they'll need some extra money for living expenses. It's a holiday period, holiday season. Maybe for school or university fees, debt repayment. So these are the possible reasons whereby we notice that towards the end of the year, with all this motivation to begin a new start, or maybe financially they need money. So the scams are likely to increase towards the last part of the year. Now, if you look at the age group, we also see a lot of individuals aged between 26 to 35 years old, and primarily male customers reported the most number of loan scams over the past few years. So victims perhaps could be swayed by their friends' endorsement, or maybe from the social media advertisement, and not realizing that these loan schemes are fraudulent or even non-existent at all. Bukit Aman had actually reported 30,000 cases of this online fraud, with losses of almost 1.3 billion that they recorded it last year from January to November. And out of these 32,000 online fraud cases, 12% of the online scams actually falls under this non-existent loan scam, and involving an equivalent amount of a whopping 38.5 billion. Now, how does a loan scam works? From the previous 5 case study, we noticed similar modus operandi. The scammers will advertise loans with appealing terms, and often they target individuals with bad credit ratings, or those who need huge financial assistance. Now, these offers can actually be found through social media, online ads, text messages, or even unsolicited phone calls. The scammer will claim that there will be no credit checks or background checks, and there will be no extensive paperwork needed, and making it very easy and quick way to secure a loan. Their message that they like to put here is that it's fast approval and you will get the money fast. Now, of course, this is appealing to the victims, because most of the time we notice why victims will go look out for loans in the social media platform is because they want money fast. Now, once the victim got in contact with these scammers, they will be asked to pay some upfront fees, and these fees basically will be described as processing fees, insurance, or even security deposits. And the victims are more than happy to pay these upfront fees in return for a fast approval, and also easier approval as well. Now, the scammers, of course, will promise this payment will definitely ensure the loan approval. Now, once the victim transfers the funds, the fraudster will deposit a fake check into their account. And later, when the victim sees that the loan amount appears in their account, they are further convinced that this transaction is legitimate. Now, how could this happen? Because, when you deposit a check, of course, the balance has not been cleared. The check is not cleared. Later, as I continue, I will show you and I will share with you, when you read your account balance using your apps, or when you look at your account balance using the internet browser or the website, what you should look at is the available balance. So this I will share with you as we go along. Now back to this, subsequently the fraudsters check will bounce, and then the scammer will either disappear and then they will stop responding, or even perhaps sometimes to continue to request additional fee, claiming that there are complications in the loan process. So basically, as we look into it, this is how the modus operandi of the loan scam and how it actually works. Now, in this modus operandi, we should know how to identify, whether is this a scam or whether is this, a real loan that is offered by the licensed, money lenders. So let's look at the red flags. What are the red flags that you will see in this non-existent loan scam? They will always say that if you are blacklisted, you are allowed to apply. Just pay a little bit of money and we will be able to whitelist you. We will be able to proceed. So of course, the victim here is tempted. Okay, so he will be willing to fork out a few hundred or maybe to a few thousand ringgit, just to obtain this loan. Fast approval, another key element. Victims want fast because they're desperate, so they need the money. Low money installments, low interest rates, and of course, the other factor is that no income documentation is actually allowed when you apply for the loan. So ladies and gentlemen, these are the red flags that we should take note of. Okay, if you are looking for a loan and somehow you got in touch with somebody and they offer you some loan packages, look out for all these red flags, the promises that they made to you. Okay, and we notice that these two elements are always existent in all these package, so-called package. Fast approval and blacklisted individuals are allowed to apply. So these two elements are enough to trigger excitement in the victims that they will continue to make payment to the scammers in order to get their loan approved. How can we avoid being a victim? So firstly, of course, do not entertain anyone that is pressuring you to act immediately in order to get a good loan deal. So if anything that is too good to be true, most of the time it is a scam. So remember to only approach banks or licensed financial institutions to apply for loan applications. Now, most banks will not ask you for any upfront payment. Okay, so this is the key point that we all should take note of. Avoid money lenders that ask for upfront fee payments. So this is also the red flags. Okay, upfront payments for any, for all, kind of charges that they may tell you, but there is no upfront payment normally that legitimate financial institution or money lender or even us banks, there is no upfront payment. Now, never disclose your banking credentials to anyone. Your banking credentials, perhaps your credit card number, perhaps your e-banking ID and password. Okay, so these are important information that should not be revealed to any third party. Always ignore loan offers that were made through the internet or unknown sources. Okay, and from the case studies that we have gone through, most of these loan offers are made available and you find it over the internet, social media, Facebook, right, TikTok. Even if you were to Google, it will come up with a list of all these names of so-called loan providers. So please do not believe all these offers. Okay. Now, Public Bank also, in order to combat all scams and fraud, we have enhanced our system, and we also enhanced some of our procedures. And we would like to share with everyone here, what are those enhanced security features that is aimed to protect you. When there is a PBE challenge question, so this challenge question will be prompted whenever a transaction that is deemed high risk, and this helps to verify the user's identity. So users, when you're prompted with this challenge question, this challenge question is what you have set, when you sign in or when you have logged into your e-banking. So this challenge question helps to verify the identity of the user. Okay, so since you are the one who set the challenge question, so you should be the one also to know what is the answer to this question. Now, secondly, the other security feature that is available is the cooling off period. Any transaction that is deemed abnormal, it will be on hold for a short period. Of course, this additional step is designed to minimize the potential of fraudulent activities, therefore ensuring the safety of customers' funds. Besides the PBE cooling off period, if you are a user of the PB Enterprise, which is our corporate e-banking, we have also installed this, implemented this cooling off period as well. So similar to the individual PB banking. So this feature is also to safeguard PB Enterprise users from any risk of fraudulent transactions that might occur via our PB Enterprise online banking. Now, this cooling off period, of course, it may look like it is an inconvenience to our users, but in actual fact, this cooling off period has also its success stories. The bank managed to help this young customer who nearly lost 20,000 to a loan scam. Okay, so our case management team actually received a call from the customer requesting to release a transaction that was on hold because of this cooling off period. Now, of course, if you your transaction, if you have been put under this cooling off period, you can approach our branch to release this cooling off period or call up our case management team in this case. So during the verification, the customer explained that the loan agent had actually asked for multiple fees to speed up the loan process. Now, the staff grew suspicious when the beneficiary account was actually flagged as a mule account. So as a result, the transaction was aborted, and the customer was advised, to be more cautious. And then, of course, if there's any loan that the customer wants, please request through any licensed financial institution. So it's a success story for us that this cooling off period actually, managed to prevent a scam from happening. Other security features that we have actually inbuilt is this new beneficiary prompter. So whenever we make a transfer to a beneficiary account for the very first time, so the system will pop up, will do a pop-up with the recipient name, the account number, as well as this SEMA mule URL link that all customers can actually go in and check. If you feel that you're suspicious of this beneficiary account or the account number that you are to make payment to, so you can actually go to this SEMA mule website to check the legitimacy of the account number. Now, my next slide here is showing you this SEMA mule website, which is at the PDRM or the police website. So what you can do is, the URL address is displayed on the screen. So you can key in this, go to this website, key in the account number at the section whereby here, and then click the item SEMA Maklumat. Now, if this account has been flagged as a mule account, you will see that there is a notification appearing on screen telling you that there is a report made to this account. So don't make any transactions if the recipient's account number is actually prompted with this disclaimer that appears on the SEMARC-MIL website. Of course, we like to buy things. Now, of course, buying things over the Facebook or social media is very convenient. Getting a loan over the social media, of course, is also convenient. But then again, there are always, this opportunity, taken by these scammers to cheat us. So please do use this SEMARC-MIL website to check whenever you are transferring money or you're making payment to any beneficiary account that you may feel suspicious, or perhaps you just want to have a comfort. So please do use up this SEMARC-MIL URL. Now, just now, as I mentioned, the case whereby the check was deposited, and when the individual check out his balance, he noticed that his balance shows that the amount of this money was deposited into this account. So just let me share that when you access into our MyPB app or our MyPB online banking, look at the available balance. All right, the available balance here displayed, because the available balance will show you the actual balance of money that you have, that you can transfer or that you can use, right? So be careful and don't look at the current balance. Okay, so please do take note between available balance and current balance to know the differences between these two balances. If the check has been deposited into the account, your current balance will be reflected with this check amount, but your available balance will not have this check amount. Like I said, the available balance is the money that you can use. All right, you can use. So once the check is cleared, then the available balance will be updated with the amount of this check. Okay, so I'm hopeful that this is to avoid any confusion whereby the victims have mistakenly thought that they have received the check when the check is credited into their account when you look at your account summary screen. Okay, so please take note, available balance is the balance to look at. What happens if you are a victim or you felt that you have already fallen victim to this loan scam? Stop interacting with the scammer. So don't respond to any emails, messages, or even any calls. Contact the bank immediately. Report the scam to us or to any banks that where you have an account. Make a police report so that we can have this reported. And if you find that perhaps your online banking that you might have been compromised, because you have shared your ID and password, so do immediately change your ID or your password. You can also call us at this number or email to us as per the email displayed on screen. Or you can even call the National Scam Response Center at 997. So these are the available hotlines and emails that you can make, you can contact. Now, otherwise, you can also take your own, you can also do your own initiative. We have this available in our website, the kill switch function, the fraud and scam incident report form, and also the phishing report option that is made available on our website. Okay, so let me just share with you individually the fraud and scam incident report form. So if you suspect your account has been compromised, you can report via this link at our PBE website. If you find that there are some websites that promotes misleading information about public bank, you can also report this phishing link in the website. And the kill switch function actually helps you or performs as a central switch that temporarily disables all features such as your internet banking, your ATM card, as well as your credit card. So these are mechanism that you can use immediately if you suspect that your internet banking, or your ATM card or your credit card has been compromised. So, ladies and gentlemen, today's short session, hopefully we'll be able to give you some insight into this current loan scam. So let us be vigilant. Let us play our part to stop scam, because we believe that for together we are able to prevent and stop the scam from further happening. So thank you very much for joining in this session today. So if possible, please help me to scan this QR code and leave us your feedback, sharing with us whether you find this session interesting and what topics would you like to hear from us in the future. So with this, thank you very much. That's the end of our session for today. Thank you for joining.